I'm really sorry. The whole video will just have to be a black screen. I'm sorry. But at least I can still talk to you like this. Okay, anyway. Since I had so much fun making the last IShy Headcannons video, here's another one. Okay. Hey. So, one of the first headcanons I've got not marked off is the narrator of any show is either Arceus or God Gumball, depending on how they use it. If the narrator is taken into account by the characters in any way, it's Gumball. If not, it's Arceus. Like, I just find it fun that God Gumball and slash or Arceus this would just get bored to the point of commentating on the mortals' lives. Speaking of which, the narrator in shows that take place on another planet are Palkia, no matter how it's used. Okay, this one's very specific, but the only reason the miracle cure from Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story isn't being used to cure everything is because the doctors would have to pay God Gumball $1 million to use it, so they normally use it in emergencies. Like, I find it funny that Gumball would be demanding so much money for something this powerful. First time is free. Then, the characters in the show Happy Tree Friends are cursed with bad luck forever. That's why there's so many bloody injuries in a single episode. And the Happy Tree Friends characters are also immortal, so they're stuck in endless suffering. Hey, I'm not wrong. Happy Tree Friends can get super violent. And I think I get it. I think that's the joke. That they're so cute. They look so cute, yet the show is so violent. I get that that's possibly the joke. But I just find it unnerving to watch. I don't even know the meaning of that word. Anyway. Okay, next. Any creepypasta about a lost episode of a set show is just a nightmare of one of the main characters. The only creepypasta thing that's canon is Marks and Rhubarb on YouTube. Okay, but for example, like the Wonder Red's nightmare, her creepypasta, why'd they have to choose her in particular, I don't know, but I'm just going to believe that that was just Red having a nightmare within a nightmare. Any story that's quote-unquote not canon is a dream of the main character it happened to. If it's a crossover story, it's a supernatural shared dream thing. Any tiny details that aren't canon, in air quotes, are just an example of the multiverse. Princess P's mother being the princess from Princess and the Pea. He normally, and I just change it to Princess Celestia, as an example of this. Now, this one's kind of strange, but remember the Pit of 100 Trials in Paper Mario, the Thousand Year Door, and Super Paper Mario? Every media has their own form of it. In specifically different ways. There's the friendly type pit where for shows where there's few to no fighting or violence whatsoever. Well, really, no fighting or violence whatsoever, and has few to no villains or dangerous creatures. This type of pit has you just play 10 minutes of different minigames based on the piece of media the pit belongs to on each floor. Meaning, it would take 1,000 minutes or 16.67 hours to complete the hits for each friendly pit. And then there's the RPG pits, the ones that like how it works in TTYD for the a media that has basically turn-based battles, or at least feels like it does, and the real-time RPG pit like it works in Super Paper Mario. How for everything else. Next, there's gods for every Tooniverse religion. For example, religious shows slash movies have real life God slash Jesus stuff, and the My Little Pony characters have the alicorns of Equestria. They're overall princesses, but alicorns are kind of like gods. Like, it just makes sense to me. What? Why would everyone in Toon World just have one religion? That doesn't make sense. Next, genetics in Toon World are pretty random. Either that or SpongeBob and Sandy just adopted Harold. Let's go with the adoption route though. But genetics are still weird. I'm not just going to immediately turn to that Pearl was adopted by Mr. Krabs. And now for the final headcanon of the video. I know what happens when you die in the Tooniverse. When you die, you're transported to a void where you fall into the PlayStation 2 red screen of death and sit there for all eternity. If you're revived, it means the PlayStation god doesn't like you. It can take time for them to realize this too. This is literally just inspired by a dumb clip in a YTP that was so stupid that I actually found it funny. Now I'll come back at ya with more headcanons later. Till we meet again.